Welcome in, the Baxter Street Boys. We're at a great spot right here. I mean, you can't beat this. I mean, come on. As Jake said, as we were rolling in, it's like discount college game day. Except we're the whole package, baby. College baseball, it's in the air. The weather's perfect. Hold off the rain, and you can't beat it. But live from the greenhouse, one of the best stadium college baseball atmospheres there are. We love it here. Love the guys. Appreciate them letting us come out. How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. We're going to the basketball game and then the baseball game.
What a day.
That's hard to beat in a single day.
And then Bar South.
Dude,
oh, yeah.
I've been pumped about this day since we started talking about it. Like, just a full day of dogs, bro. Like, that's all I asked for.
Yeah, and y'all come out to Bar South after. Our guys, Cade, Travis, they're hosting us over there. Great guys. Drinks will be flowing. We'll be out there having a good time, running a little pong tournament. It'll be fun.
And Griff was gracious enough to let me and my wife Kenzie stay at their place last night. But when I come out this morning, you and the jersey you're wearing, Josh McAllister, y'all are both on the same couch with one blanket. Explain what happened there.
Well, we got a little rowdy last night, so obviously you come in, you're just.
What do you mean by
it? Well, we were downtown. That's your dreams, fun. You gotta do what you gotta do.
This story's not improving.
No,
it's not. It's not. Will you tell us?
We just got on the couch. We just fell asleep, bro. Like,
what's crazy is I come out and I'm like, one blanket, really? That was the move? And he said, well, that's all we had. And I'm like in the corner living room, and he's at his girlfriend's place. So, it's not like a guy's place. It's a woman's house.
Yeah.
There's blankets there. There's a whole thing of blankets sitting right there. I'm like, there's literally 4 sitting right here.
Dude, it was dark last night. I just walked in. I just sat on the couch.
But then you were up. We went on a walk at 8 o'clock this morning. You were ready to roll.
Dude, I told you I've been ready for this day. I knew I'd be up this morning. Like, I knew I'd be ready to roll.
I love it. Yeah, being back on campus is the best. Like, just walking through campus today, it's the first time I've been. I came like right when baseball season was over for a little bit, but it was hot weather. Like, Athens and fall go together, right? This feels like fall weather today, and just walking downtown North Campus you can't beat it. I was giddy.
Dude, Athens it's the best college town in America. There's no doubt about it. Like.
And what I forgot was that they still have the Natty logo on the football field.
Yeah.
Like, that was awesome. I rolled up and I was like, that right there is what that made it. I would drive up here just to see that.
I did have a little moment when we were over there. I was like, dang, we just went back to back. We just won 2 national championships in a row.
I was when I was walking, we went to Dooley's on Thursday, which I hadn't been there very often, but they have like a little scoreboard there, and they got it set on the 65-7 like the stadium, and I was just
that's so cool.
Maybe
so
smile.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute. Obviously, we're Bar South guys, but I did walk by that today. Is that a new bar, the Dooley's?
Yeah, they've only been open a few months. It's a decent spot.
What a name!
It is so hot upstairs. Oh my god, it's
Really?
cool, but like upstairs, you're gonna be sweating it out.
I've only been there once. I went there to eat though, and the food was pretty good. Like, I got a burger. It was good.
Is it at all affiliated with like the Dooley's at all?
I doubt it.
I doubt
Like,
it.
how do you swing
Not.
that? Do you have to like get permission, or
I don't know. I mean,
Walking a thin line. I don't give out free legal advice on this show, but they're walking a thin line.
That's true. That's true. We're excited to be here. Obviously, this is just fantastic. The greenhouse. If you've never watched a game from the greenhouse, you got to do it. It is peak college baseball. It really, really is. And every place has their own atmosphere. Like, Ole Miss has the beer showers, LSU with the box, like all this stuff. This is Georgia baseball. I remember in our regional in 19, they were up here, and I think it was the main guys in the booth. Like, it was I'm picturing his face right now. Kyle Peterson and all those guys in the booth calling our games. They were like buying on pizza, sending it up here. Like, it's awesome. They loved it. Everybody I talked to, like in pro ball, they're like, "Oh, we played Georgia one weekend. You still have that place up there where all those kids get rowdy?" It's like, yeah, of course we do.
it's the best when people start chirping, when people get after that right fielder, bro.
Yes.
I felt so bad for the kid that one weekend when we were all up here.
Too.
Dude, he was getting railed.
And what was crazy that year was it was the year after COVID, and usually the parents sit like in general admission. The visiting parents, they give them general admission tickets. Well, everything was spread out that year, so they put them right here behind the bullpen, the home bullpen, which is usually first come, first serve. So all that team's parents were sitting right there listening to everything the greenhouse was saying to their son playing right field right there. It was brutal. It was brutal.
Imagine, dude. I bet they were just fuming down there,
No
just
doubt.
raging.
No doubt.
That's how you know you're playing big time college baseball. Though.
No,
if you're
no
not getting
doubt.
chirped, come on.
Well, that's always been the thing. Like players, you enjoy it. Like when we went to Mississippi State and stuff like that, like it was fun. It was funny hearing it. Like parents and the parents that played the sports understand it. But a lot of parents did not play the sport, and they have kids out there and they can't handle it. I mean, they hate it. They hate it. But that's what makes it fun. I mean, college baseball is at its peak.
Yeah, Georgia's got Princeton today. I often hear Princeton referred to as, the UGA of the North. It's an all right school. Baseball team's okay. I expect a sweep, but
UGA of the North.
I have heard it called that. In multiple places.
Actually, come to think of it, I think that's pretty common knowledge, honestly.
yeah, I mean,
So there's a unique thing going on today. I believe there's about to be 3 baseball games played today.
Well, like 2.5, I
Right,
guess.
but 3 separate games will be
Yeah.
played on the field today. So they're finishing from last night, got rained out. It was initially scheduled a doubleheader. I haven't seen like the real schedule yet, the updated schedule.
Yeah.
So
They
are
might
they
have
still
moved it
playing
to Sunday.
doubleheader?
I don't know. They might have moved it to Sunday. I'm not sure.
They're finishing this game and then they're playing 2 against.
Oh,
Wow.
so they
Yeah,
are playing
you
3.
can't do a Sunday doubleheader. That's miserable. For
Yeah.
Princeton, they drove down here too.
Yeah, facts.
They didn't fly down here. They're
Yeah.
driving back. Well, we were talking on the way over here. Princeton hasn't played baseball in 2 years. The Ivy League school got cut out. They've cut out all sports since COVID. And it was in 21. I was training here in the off season at a gym in Watkinsville. And randomly, this is the most random thing ever. The entire Harvard baseball team was in there training with me. And I was like, what? I mean, how did this come to happen? So, well, we have a kid from Atlanta. His girlfriend goes here, and he's like, y'all have to come to UGA. Like, it's the best. And so they just got an Airbnb down the road and trained here because they weren't playing baseball.
that's
So,
kind of sick.
Yeah, that is
I mean,
kind
that's a
of
good
electric.
trade-off. If you're going to get baseball season canceled, might as well come hang out
It's
now.
better,
All-
better
the-
being in Cambridge.
The only question I have is like, how are a bunch of college kids like paying for an Airbnb all summer or whatever?
They go to Harvard, Griffin.
But
They're
still,
What do you mean?
still, what-
Still?
I mean,
Have you seen how much it is to go to Harvard?
I guess, yeah, but like,
You
I
think,
don't
you
know.
think they're handing out like big time baseball scholarships at Harvard?
Yeah, they're definitely not.
I told him no. They
Yeah?
offered me one. But
Really? What position did you play back in the day?
I played second base.
Yeah. Did you play all 4 years at Northwest?
No. I only
Tapped
played
out.
2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Only 2. Yeah, it was they were humming back then. We had some guys.
Yeah, I really did.
There was a
Really?
kid, I can't remember his name. He was way younger than me. I think it was maybe 2 years ago, but he went to Florida. He pitches at Florida
Tate
now.
Fisher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's good.
And then
His brother was my age. He's at Georgia Southern.
yeah.
But y'all had
Hank.
Hank Bearden. He's with the Dogs.
Pasquale played at Christian Heritage.
Yeah, no more. Who was the kid? Big lefty. Probably
You
a
talking
little
about
older than
Seth?
you. Yes.
No, Seth's my guy. I haven't seen him in a really long
he
time.
was committed here, right?
Yeah, we grew up together. He I thought he was going to get drafted for a while. He went to Macaulay and then
Freak.
Ringgold after that. Yeah, he was really good.
He was a freak.
And Slaydale,
Mm-hmm.
he was
Yeah, had some good Georgia pop lines here.
Slade, yeah, Slade Dale.
Slade was Ringgold too, though.
So
He
as
was
you
better
see in the
football.
background, a little BP session. Nothing beats a day of BP, especially the day after you started. Like if you started I never started on Friday because we had a guy, Emerson Hancock. May have heard of him. Not that good, but he pitched on Fridays. So I pitched Saturday, but Sunday BP, if you pitch good, like you were out there like you're the man. You were out there, and I would go shagging left field, talk to the other team. Like it was the best. Like, you felt like you're on cloud nine. But we did have one rule. We always had one rule from Coach Kenny, our pitching coach: don't get hurt in BP. Like you can go out, you can shag, stand your butt against the wall, and do not get hurt. So there was one day, it was pregame, and it was in 2020. I was in left field shagging. I don't think there was a left fielder out there, so I was having to go get every ball. And I didn't want to throw it across the field, so we would usually just throw it down the wall on my assembly line, pass it down.
Yeah.
Well, Jonathan Cannon, who at the time had given up like no runs. He was a freshman. He'd pitched like 20 innings, given up no runs. He's like a freshman phenom. And he was the one in left center. So I was getting the ball, I was rolling them down the wall to him, and he was picking them up and throwing them. Well, there was one I threw. I guess he didn't see it. I threw it to him like I had been, just rolling it down the wall. Ball's hitting the gap. He takes off after it, steps on the ball, rolls his ankle, and he's getting carried off the field in BP. And that was the one rule. Coach Kenny's like, we had a meeting. He said, what's our one rule?
I remember when that happened.
Like, dang. And then somehow I get blamed for it. I'm like, dude, I've thrown him like 20 balls before this. He knew they were there. So hopefully nobody's getting hurt in DP today because we're gonna need some arms. So for 3 games,
Yeah,
the arms better be.
yeah.
warm.
You better have them ready on deck.
I would say it's 7-inning doubleheaders though.
You would say?
I would say yeah. I would definitely say 7 innings. If they're playing 9-inning doubleheaders,
I think they said they're finishing up a 9-inning game here, and then they're playing 2
Yeah.
7-inning doubleheaders.
Yeah.
And then Princeton comes back tomorrow. For 2.
right? 2 more.
2 more. So they are having a Sunday doubleheader.
That's
So,
miserable.
Wait, where's Strick at? Hold on. I can take some cuts.
so they're playing
like
5
y'all need
games
some
this
bodies.
weekend?
They might need some able bodies in the bullpen for 5 games.
Listen, I'll go out there.
35
first,
innings.
I still
It's
got
37.
something left in this arm,
Yeah.
man.
We did want to do it this offseason. We didn't get to do it. Next offseason we'll have to. Some live ABs off of me, you two.
Oh yes.
That'll be a hilarious
Yeah.
video.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be something for sure.
Dude, I'm gonna be so embarrassed.
You know if I get a hit, you're never gonna hear the end of it.
Oh,
I just
it's
want you
a
to know that.
lose-lose for me. Like that's why I usually don't do stuff like this because it's like, yeah, if I just blow it by you 10 straight times, like obviously, and if you do foul one off, it's like, oh,
I'm swinging out of my pants every time and just hoping I connect with one and just.
dude, one of my buddies, I'm gonna dig on him right now. He's from Arkansas. His name's Patrick Wicklander. I hope he hears this. He posted on his Instagram story the other day, and he's with the Rays. He was dominating these 14-year-olds on his Instagram story.
That's pretty funny.
blowing
I'm not gonna
them
lie,
up.
that's pretty funny.
That's kind of funny.
And I was like, dude, number one, if they touch you, you're done. You're toast. You've lost all credibility.
Yeah.
Don't put yourself in that situation. But he was. I mean, it looked like they were swinging underwater. Like he was blowing it by him. And I was watching. I was like, "There's no way he's throwing to 14-year-olds right now."
It's like the scenario where people are like, how many 5-year-olds or 7-year-olds do you think you can take on at once?
How many straight 14-year-olds can you strike out?
Yeah.
Like, this is a 3-year starter at Arkansas. Like, and then I was with the Rays, just absolutely toasting 14-year-old travel ball team. Good stuff right there.
I remember I told this story when we first started this show, but I played 1 year of travel ball against Cole, and I didn't know him at the time. And he just blew 3 straight by me, and I was like, well, just went and sat back down.
It was always funny. Like, I wouldn't remember, like, all the people I faced, obviously. But naturally, like, when you're hitting, it's a lot easier to remember the 3 at-bats you had against one guy.
Yeah.
And they always come up, hey, remember when I freaking hit that single on you backside? I'm like, honestly, no, but I'll take your word for it. Like,
I should have just
you
said
got
that
me.
thing. I should have been like, dude, I ripped one into the gap.
I
on
would
you.
have absolutely no idea.
But
I'd
the
be like,
thing,
yeah,
the
you
thing
did, you
about
got
that
me.
is for you though is there's people in our area who would definitely just come up and lie about that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me.
Like I can just see like somebody coming from like Lakeview or something. Did we even play Lakeview baseball? We had to, right?
Not the first year, I think we did.
But like, or just something like that, and just being
No
like,
doubt.
"Hey, remember that time that I like cranked that homer off
Well,
you?"
it's like when we played Trevor Lawrence in football. Like, there's going to be so many people from our school like telling their kids, like, yeah, I sacked him one time. Like, I promise you, there was no sacking of Trevor Lawrence going on when we played.
We got
None.
absolutely railed.
Yeah, it was bad.
I met Von Bell in the hole as a freshman.
Not yet.
It went poorly for him.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. I still hear freaking horror stories of Von Bell. Like, yeah, I caught him in the open field one time. I'm like, dude, there's no way. I watched him play. He never got caught in the open.
Dude, I felt bad for him because when he played at Ridgeland, so Ridgeland was awful. The year after he left, I don't think they won a single game. And that year, he played quarterback, safety. He kicked, punted, and returned kicks and returned punts. He never came off the
state
field.
championship.
Yeah, he never came off the field.
That's what you have to do at our area schools because there's not an abundance of athleticism all the time.
Yeah, no doubt.
It was like Derrick Henry, like his coach gave him like 350 carries when he was a senior or something like that.
He rode that horse, no doubt about it. But that baseball, obviously, like we talked about, doubleheader today. It's gonna be fun. Gonna be a good atmosphere. Come out if you're in town. Also, we have a basketball game today. I mean, campus is loaded up right now.
Hey,
We couldn't find a hotel.
we're rocking
So
and
either
rolling.
Princeton brought a lot of folks, so the stakes gonna be packed today.
I think the stakes will be packed.
I think it will too. And the line is it got me fired up. Dogs are 3.5-point underdog. That's screaming money line to me.
I already nuked it. All right.
That is screaming dogs money line to me. If it was gonna be over like 8 points, I was gonna be like, this might be a rough one.
Missouri is coming off a big time win too. They just beat Mississippi State at home. Who Mississippi State is really hot, and they hit like a literal buzzer beater almost against them in overtime. It was absolutely sick. I had Mississippi State +4 in that game, but I also lived Missouri money line. They won by 2, hit perfectly.
Sharp.
You gave out 2 losers the other day, though. Do you have anything to say about that?
Well, my last one I gave out was a winner. Texas A&M,
Okay.
easy.
No. You gave out Ohio State and Illinois, 2 losers.
I didn't give those out. I never posted them. I never posted
You
those.
never posted on Instagram.
No, I never posted that.
Wow.
I didn't post it.
Wow, my bad then.
Yeah, I thought about
made a
it.
graphic.
I know. I made it because I was thinking I was like trying to come up with some more stuff to post on Instagram, but. Yeah, so I'm thinking about like a daily plays graphic. Start posting on Instagram. You know, I literally bet basketball every single day.
That was sharp
so.
to hold off.
You're gonna start stepping on Biggie's turf. He's gonna get up.
Let's talk about the Hoop Dog a little bit, real quick.
If we didn't play a road game, we might be a 1 seed.
That's what I was about to say. That's what I was about to say. If we could play every game in the Steg and maybe just a half, if we could play 1 half on the road and full games at home, we'd be 20-4.
Yeah, we'd have a pretty good record. I mean,
we would have beat Kentucky on the road.
we'd beat Florida.
We'd have beat Florida on the road. We would have. There was one game we lost. We choked. Was it Ole Miss at home?
I was gonna say Ole Miss.
No, yeah, we did choke
Ole
Ole
Miss
Miss
at home. So
But-
there's 3 games.
Tech was the other one. But
Tech-
that was in Atlanta.
game. We got boned in that game.
Yeah.
So there is definitely some roster construction to be done. Like
No
I think
doubt.
everyone knew that coming in. Like you can't just take over a team that won 1 SEC game.
And
Patch it
6 games total.
Yeah.
Total.
Total.
We won half of our bye games.
Yeah. I think we lost one. Just patchwork a team with some super glue and some scotch tape and go out there and make the tournament. Like the expectations were always too high. Always too high. And I knew like that's just how it is when you go in. Like you want instant fixes because you see it around the country. But it's going to take some time. It's going to take some time to build this program back up to what we want it to be and what we think it can be. But I think we're in a really, really good spot.
We just got to get hot. We just got to get hot like right now.
Honestly, like a great step if you do want to build up a program is winning at home. Like that, the fact that he's come in and won at home at the rate that we've done this year has been cool. Like that's how you get the atmosphere back into it. That's how you get people in the stands. Like win at home, and then as you get better players and as the talent grows and as honestly just the system grows some more and people start learning it better, the road games are going to come. But road games in the SEC are tough.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's why people never came to basketball games while Tom Crean was the head coach, because he literally would hop it up, be like, oh, y'all got to come out. Y'all got to come out. And then we get beat by 40.
Yeah, it's
like,
tough.
I mean, you can't do that. Mark Fox was weird about kind of like, I feel like we would win games at home and then lose random ones. Like, that made no sense to lose. But then we would also get some random ones on the road, which made him like a half decent coach.
Yeah.
I just remembered that the Tom Crean era was just so frustrating because I think we were at the Battery watching it was Titans Bengals. It was whenever Joe Burrow got sacked like 9 times and the Bengals still won. I remember watching, they had it on one of the side TVs because we watched it at Sport and Social at the Battery. And I think we were up on South Carolina by maybe 25 at home in like the second half. And they came back and won. And I just remember like seeing it out of the corner of my eye, be like, I'm not even going to pay attention to this. I was getting so mad.
Yeah. And one of the things that people, I don't think have gave enough credit to, they're like, well, we just can't win on the road. The games they're referring to that we can't win on the road is Auburn, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Alabama, and Arkansas.
The 5 best teams in the SEC right
Like,
now.
all
I was about to ask, I don't mean to cut it out. Are they beating teams they're supposed to and losing to teams
honestly,
they're
yeah.
supposed
Like the only game that I'd be like, we should have won that game was Ole Miss at home.
Georgia Tech really.
Yeah, but that was early in the
Yeah.
year. I don't even remember that game. I'm just talking about conference.
I remember
opponents.
because we got absolutely hoed by the refs in that game. That's
Yeah.
the only reason that it stuck in my mind.
That was tough.
those 5 teams I just named. That was the road games we've lost. We beat Ole Miss on the road.
Yeah.
We beat Mississippi State at home, which is a really good win.
Yeah,
now.
no, it is a really good win now.
But like A&M is going to be a top 5, probably a 5 seed, depending on how they end the year.
Yeah.
Tennessee's a 1-2 seed. Kentucky's going to end up being they're playing really well at the right time. Auburn is going to be a 3 seed, and
Bama's going to be a 1 seed.
Bama's a 1 seed. So, like all these teams that we're losing to on the road are like Final 4 good teams. So
Yeah.
let's take it for we're not getting blown out by Ole Miss on the road. We're not getting
wish-
blown out by Florida on the road. We had them beat.
Dude, I was so bad that Tennessee would fall a little bit in the seeding so they could just lose in the first round. Like, I don't think they're going to get beaten the first round as a 3 seed, but as a 5 seed,
You don't think so?
I don't.
Have you seen Rick Barnes coach in March?
That's true, but like, I mean, they haven't lost in the first round the past 2 years. Like, and they've been 3 seeds.
They don't want to see Kent State, Florida Atlantic. We're gonna have Tate Frazier on next week. We're gonna talk some March Darling, some team to look
you
out
gonna
for.
drop that in there?
Oh yeah.
Just casually drop that in there?
Yeah. Tate's my guy.
Close friend of Jake's.
We gotta set up a time, but
We'll talk some SEC tournament.
oh yeah. We'll talk. He's
Dogs' chances to take it home.
Oh yeah.
That's not a miracle.
We just needed to bounce our way a couple
I
times.
watched that documentary the other day, and it gets better every time.
Do you think Mike White shows the documentary before we go to the tournament?
He should. He should. They won 4 SEC games that year. 4. And won the dang tournament. 4 games in 3 days. Actually,
did we lose in the first round?
Yeah, we did. Yeah. But actually,
Doesn't matter.
the T-shirts they're giving out the game day to students say honor that SEC tournament run.
Yeah, so be there. You get a T-shirt.
You get a freaking T-shirt, and it's sick.
What's that? Are we tipping at 12 or 1?
1.
Okay.
1 o'clock tip. We'll be there. We're gonna go there and then bounce back here and then go to Barstow. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, big day.
All over the place.
Yeah.
All right. So leading into football, I have a question for you guys. Here are the odds. You can take the Dogs for plus 400. Now this is serious. All right. You have to withdraw 5,000 of your own dollars.
Okay.
And you have to put it on one of these. The Dogs at plus 400 or the Field at minus 220.
Dog plus 400, baby.
I'll take it. Yeah.
That's way too much. That's way too much value. That's way too much value on the Dogs.
I just put the Field at 220. That's not value.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, but dude, who's to say we're not going to win it again next year?
You win $2,500 if anyone else wins.
I'll still take the Dogs, bro. Like, I'm not going to be happy regardless if we don't win. So, I mean.
So you might as well pay $5,000 on top of it.
Might as well go for it all.
That's horrible logic. That's terrible. Here's the question.
I don't need emotional
hedge. Would you pay $5,000 to see the Dogs win 3 in a row?
Yeah, absolutely.
You might as well put it on the other side, right?
No.
I once gave Griffin even odds. What year was that? Was it 2020?
It was 20. It was 2021, I think. When you're talking about
I said,
March
will you take Gonzaga and Baylor or the Field in March Madness? And he said, "Oh, the Field for sure." And I was like, "Dude, I don't know. These things are really freaking good." Baylor Gonzaga. Finals. That was awesome.
You were all over that.
That was a sharp. Yeah. Well, Baylor was like the best team I've ever seen.
UCLA was this close to beating Gonzaga. It would have.
I think that was the year that I was so hot on Illinois. I was like, "Oh, Illinois is the perfect team. They're going to win it," because it was Io, Kofi Coburn, and they had somebody else too.
Well, they won the Big Ten tournament, and then I can't remember. It was the last time the Big Ten tournament winner won the finals. I can't remember who it was, but it's like forever ago.
Yeah.
So probably no. It's not even Maryland. Maryland wasn't even in the Big Ten back then.
No, it's like a curse. Like Ohio State maybe, but I don't think they did when they won it all.
Yeah, with Greg Oden. No, that wasn't Greg Oden. I think that was before that or after, because I think they lost to Florida when they had Greg Oden.
They did.
I'm telling you right now, I'm about to fade every single Big Ten team in the tournament. I'm pissed at them right now. None of their basketball makes sense right now. Rutgers just lost at home this week by 20 points to Michigan, and Michigan is not good.
Relax. That was out of left field.
Yeah,
But
it was.
we'll talk March Madness when March Madness comes.
Yeah, facts.
Right now we're on football. Jake, I saw you quote tweet something the other day. It was like the most dominant football players you've seen
in person.
Yeah, in person. So we can do a Dogs version, or we can do a separate version. So Griff, who's the most dominant Georgia football player that you've watched with your 2 eyes?
Dude, I mean, I think you know who I'm going to say, but both of the guys that come to mind immediately
You get one.
are number 3, but it's Roquan Smith, dude. Dude was absolutely absurd. Just the freakiest athlete. Just the things that he did on a football field, like no one else could do when he did it. Like,
there's so many people to pick from too, especially if you talk about last year's defense. But honestly, I might have to take 19. I might have to say Brock Bowers, man. That guy,
a pretty good
he's
pick.
Just a walking mismatch everywhere.
He really is incredible.
There's nothing you can do to game plan for that. Like,
No.
What do you do?
Tell your guys to get bigger and faster and stronger. Like, that's just not really possible.
Man, Roquan was fun to watch. I mean, I'll take somebody different. Like, it's been a long time since we saw someone do like what Jalen Carter does up front. If he got matched up one-on-one, more times than not, that dude was getting moved.
No doubt.
And like just a game wrecker up the middle is so hard to defend against, and that's why that's why they get picked so high. But like Jalen Carter's different. I can't wait to see where he goes in the NFL. Like I really can't.
I thought that one season of Jarvis Jones.
That wasn't.
Oh,
Every time he was on the edge, you thought he was going to get a sack.
I mean,
impressive.
he literally won that Missouri game that year for us.
Kind
Thank
of Florida too.
God, the first time. But no, he did win that Florida game. Aaron Murray threw 3 picks in the first half of that game. But
That's
luckily,
tough.
our defense was nails, and they had who was their quarterback?
Imagine that
Jeff Driscoll.
Imagine that 2012 defense with Kirby and the boys. It'd be a lot different.
Dude, I don't even want to think about that because it kind of
We
breaks
had
my
Big
heart.
Big Todd calling the shots.
And honestly, if I have to go with a non-dog, I hate to say this, but it might actually be Marvin Harrison Jr.
He's pretty freaking good.
He's up there. Like I think about all the college football games I've seen in person. Trevor Lawrence is going to be up there. And I mean, I think about it, they've mostly all been Georgia or Georgia Southern games. And so
Yeah.
I got to say, I mean, Marvin Harrison Jr. is definitely up there. Trevor Lawrence is up there. We went to Ole Miss. Who would have they had on that team? Laramie Tunsil was pretty good that game.
Yeah. I mean, mine is 100% Cam Newton.
Oh,
Like,
yeah. I never saw Cam. I was thinking about him, but the year I went, we beat them in Sanford, and they didn't have him.
Cam Newton was different. Like, it was unbelievable how dominant he was in college. And then a couple guys off the LSU 19 team. It was pretty impressive too. I went and watched them in the SEC championship when they played us, and it was like one of those things you buy tickets for just to see that team play.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Like I had no intention of us winning the game in the slightest, but I wanted to see that team in person. Like they were that fun to watch. They were that special. But yeah, Cam Newton, I will always say, is the most dominant football player I've watched in college.
Trent Richardson's another one too, and then
An underrated one too. I feel like.
Yeah.
You forget his pro career fizzled out a little bit. But.
Yeah, he's another one. He was a monster, absolute maniac.
I'm trying to think, like, non-UGA. Dude, honestly, one, like, well, I guess I wouldn't. He wasn't really, I mean, dominant. I'm just saying, like, if I'm thinking, like, exciting, bro, like a non-football one, Anthony Edwards is a great pick. Like,
Oh yeah,
when he came to UGA basketball, like, that was just so, like, invigorating. Like, we never had anything like
It
that.
really was.
I remember there was that one game. Him and Tyrese Maxey were just absolutely
fun.
going at it. That
That was
game was
fun.
sick.
And then Ashton Hagens kind of stole the show.
Yeah.
Unspeakable.
We were at that game, and as soon as Ashton Hagens touched the ball, every time, boo, because he decommitted from the
Yeah,
Dogs.
that was fun.
Katie Johnson got that treatment whenever we beat Auburn. I see why he wears 0 now because that's
Yeah.
about the impact he had on that game.
That's about the impact he has on all games. Also, his like 3-point percentage.
Yeah, the bro shoot like 29%
Wow.
from 3 or something like that.
Man. Yeah, like there wasn't that much football news that happened this week. It was Georgia related.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, that's always good. Hopefully some more stuff. You know, spring ball was right around the corner, so we're gonna start cranking up. Like, there's no off season in football anymore. Like, you know how it is. But we're excited. We're excited to see this team because
I'm excited to see how quarterback battle shakes out because, you know, I think Bobo and Gunner are boys. You know,
that's true.
So we'll see how that goes.
Underrated part of it. But yeah, like it's Carson's lose. I think. I mean, it's something.
Yeah, definitely.
I
I
think
feel
it's
like something would
definitely
have to
us.
drastically happen. But
Carson had like an 80% completion percentage, and like he played in like 6 games. He's probably gonna get the job.
Speaking of Carson Beck, I feel like I have to defend my.
yeah, let's talk about that.
Dude, everybody was really
So
pressed.
if you don't know, we drafted an all-time Kirby Smart offense, and you couldn't pick the same guy twice. Like it was a competition. Griffin picked Carson Beck with Jake Fromm still on the table.
Yeah, I would have too.
Would you like to defend that?
Yeah, I mean, I personally think that when Carson Beck plays this year, he's going to be exponentially better than Jake Fromm was in his 3 years.
Well,
I do too.
Here's what.
Yeah.
And so what I had to try to explain to Griff was he couldn't figure out why people were mad at it, and I was like,
Well, I get why people are mad at it, but like,
no, don't backtrack now. Stand 10 toes in the paint.
I mean, I really don't get it, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so yeah, that's why. And I'm like, dude, you could we saw Jake Fromm. And I think some people are like, come on, we saw him play.
I saw him hand
That's
the ball
exactly
off like
why
45 times
I wanted
a
to
game.
take Carson Beck over him. I think. I mean, he wasn't bad by any means, but like, was he like otherworldly by any means? No. I mean, like, he threw.
Yeah,
for,
but
he never
you
threw for
could
3,000 yards in a season.
You could fall flat on your face with a pick, is what I'm
I
saying.
mean, I could. Yeah,
Exactly.
I absolutely could. I mean,
so like, you can't can't just get super upset at people being like,
I
"Why-
could.
what is that pick?"
but I mean, like, what's the fun in that?
Yeah,
Like,
that was just
no,
about
I
to say.
agree.
What's the fun in that?
No, I agree. I'm just trying.
I
to
felt like that was
explain
an
the people's point of view.
I felt like that was an opportunity to take my team to a new level.
okay,
Like, I mean, like it could absolutely, like, if he's good, it brings my team like up here.
yeah,
And if he's like bad, like, oh well.
yeah. Well, I'm not even gonna get into what I think about people commenting on my team for picking Justin Fields.
That's just
That's
they
crazy
gotta
to
let
me.
that hurt go.
It's not crazy to me that people still have ill will towards him, but like,
You gotta let that go.
let's
at some
call a
point.
spade, guys.
He's pretty good.
pretty good.
He's an extremely good football. I mean, he was the second overall pick in the draft behind Brock Bowers. So
Yeah.
whatever, what it is, what it is.
Yeah, I honestly, if I'd have thought of him, I would have taken him. But I got Stetson. I
It's
mean,
whatever.
value pick.
Exactly.
All right, should we do scumbag stories?
Yeah, and on cue, Ron,
What? What are we doing?
Get over
Here,
here.
you take the mic. You take the mic.
sit right here. So this right here, folks, is Jeremy Billick. He was our manager when I played here. Dude worked his tail off. He worked his tail off for us. He was the man. I mean, what all did you do? Trackman, laundry?
Trackman, bats, laundry for 6 months until I told Jeff Guy I didn't want to do it anymore. But yeah, anything for Big Thunder right here. I mean,
Big Thunder.
But you had to pencil in that you would not be at the spring break game because you would be traveling for spring break. Right?
I would.
We would need a replacement manager during spring break.
I was, but I was there for the one spring break where everything ended very quickly, and we took a road
That was no
road
good.
trip
We don't-
down
we
to
don't talk
Florida.
about that.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know if you've been following lately, but we do what we have called the scumbag meter, where we're giving an award away to it's 1 to 10 rating. 10
Sure,
being the highest
sure.
scumbag, 1 being the nicest guy in the world.
Sure.
The nicest guy is going to get an award, and the highest scumbag is going to get an award. So it doesn't have to be you, but anyone you know, maybe tell it for a friend. Tell us a scumbag story that you witnessed while you
We
were
know
in
you've
college.
got one.
Oh God.
You honestly, if it's
You're
your
putting
story,
me on the spot.
I am.
Scumbag story. I wouldn't say it's a scumbag story, but I experienced this yesterday. We're at the
Yesterday.
It's fresh in my mind. It's fresh in my
This
mind.
guy.
I'm at Foley Field right behind me. You know, it's a proximity story. We're at the baseball game. You know, it starts to rain, and go to the beer stand, and still $9. And it's just like, what are we doing?
Oh,
I
so
mean,
you're putting-
so I want a discount, and if I'm gonna sit in the rain and wait out the
I like that.
dogs,
Okay.
I like that.
and it's not a scumbag story, but it's like
And
more of a what are we doing kind
No,
of story.
that's,
I mean,
I get that. That's scumbaggy-ish. Like, charging $9 for a beer.
I mean, if I'm sitting in the rain, I want a discount. Griff.
Exactly.
I mean,
Right.
I think that could be mixed in for sure.
I don't
but
think that's a hard thing to do.
I needed some prep. If
Well,
you
let me
wanted
ask
to
you
go
this.
one.
Let me ask you this, Jeremy. How big of a scumbag would someone have to be if you happen to be playing cards on the road in a hotel room
Okay, I've got
and one of your
Now I've
buddies
got
is
a story.
struggling and you continue to play against them and continue to take their money?
Right.
How big of a scumbag would that be?
right. Okay, so I'll level you one up. If you want to keep in this hypothetical story, the person wants to keep playing me. I'm gonna let him
Oh,
keep
it's you.
playing. Oh, sorry, the person. And we won't name any names. I mean, TL. Give some initials. But if you want to keep playing, and you do get drafted, all this, you got money coming in, and you won't pay a couple $100. I mean, but again, it's a hypothetical story. I mean,
Hypothetically.
I-
pretty
I-
hypothetical.
But in this
hypothetical.
hypothetical story on a 1 to 10, how much of a scumbag would you rate that person?
I'll give it a good 6 or 7. I mean,
Yeah.
it could have been higher, but he did pay half of it at one point. Hypothetically. Yeah, he's not in a major league organization or anything right now, but he's a good guy. Just doesn't like to lose.
Bad
Let's
at
just
cards.
say that. Bad at cards. Bad at
Okay.
cards.
Okay, another question. We played a lot of sweats in our day.
What a game! They don't play anymore.
Dude,
They
I don't know
only,
why.
They only play poker. I was texting
Lame.
somebody on the team, and
No, they don't play.
they play poker, and that's
It's not
great.
the
It's a
same.
good
It's not
game,
the
but
same. It's not
No.
Georgia baseball.
no, it's not.
What's the maximum amount of time that you that before you start itching again to play after you lose all your money? Like, you put $50 in and you lost it all immediately. And what's how long you wait? 5 minutes, 10 minutes?
Not long. Less than 5 minutes. I mean,
Yeah.
you sit there, you watch one hand, and you're like, I mean, we're on the
Right.
road.
That's
Like
true.
we're
Only in
getting-
college once.
we're getting meal money tomorrow. Tatum's gonna give me some more money. I mean,
Yeah, you can get back in.
I'm in. I mean,
Well, Ronnie, appreciate
Thanks
you
for
coming
having
out.
me.
Hey, come see Ron John at the UGA golf course. He's a
Hey,
big deal
yeah.
over there these days.
That's a dog.
Hey, what do you shot at? What best score at
Jake.
UGA golf course?
83. And
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah,
at
it's
UGA.
It's a tough course.
It is a very tough
course.
I'm gonna finish this one off with a personal story. This happened
Here we go.
semi recently. So we were at this formal, and my buddy BSB and my girl and two of my buddies and these girls that they had brought. These girls drove all the way up from an unnamed city in the SEC.
Okay.
But so, anyways, they were very excited to take pictures. I think that was their main thing.
Mhm.
And apparently, they were being kind of boring throughout the night. And so my buddy texts me, and he's like, "Hey, I don't feel good. Like something. Like, I really feel sick. Like I'm about to go home." And so they just left these girls. Didn't tell them they were leaving. And so I go back to my apartment. This is like 2 hours later. Both of the guys are sitting on my couch with two different girls.
Oh,
And I'm like, dude, why didn't you just tell me you were going back to my apartment? I'm gonna be back here at some point. He was like, "Oh, what's up, man?" I was like, "All right."
That's a good one.
So, do we hear from the girls again?
Now apparently they texted. They were like, "We had such a great time," and I was like, "Oh."
They clearly did not care.
Well,
Okay,
that factors
that
into
makes
it.
the story a
Yeah.
little bit less.
Yeah, I figured we'd end on that. I don't know. This is I'm gonna give him like a 5.8. I feel like it's kind of. I feel like it would be more
Yeah.
scummy if he just straight up to her
Yeah,
face was like, "I'm out of
the
here."
fact
but-
that they were okay with it and it all worked out, 5.8's a good score.
Yeah,
That's
I think I agree with that.
I think it's a
completely.
scumbag move to tell me that you're sick and you're going home and then just be on
No
my
doubt.
couch.
No doubt.
Let's bump it up to like a 6-1 because
For
of that.
reason,
Yeah.
You can't lie to the
6-1.
boys.
We'll give them 2 hands.
Yeah.
Listen, everybody come out to the All Dog Day today. It's going to be an all-day event on campus. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I mean, this backdrop's incredible. Thank you to the Greenhouse guys for letting us come out. Let's get 4 wins today.
Yeah.
4 wins on campus.
Y'all come out to Bar South later too. We'll be
Yeah.
out there hanging
We'll
out
see ya.
playing pong.
Yeah,
Let's do
all right.
it.
Thank you. That's Baxter Street Boys.